Good evening and welcome along to the Goddess Box Co. My name is Liz and I am going to take you through a nice, slow and mindful practice. Please do listen to all the options that will be available to you so that you don't overexert yourself and end up injured. They always say that your injuries are your greatest teachers. Whenever you're ready, please do take a comfortable seat, and if you're quite bound in your hips, I totally relate to that. So this might not be quite comfortable. You may want to lift your seat by placing a pillow or a bolster just underneath the backside. Elongate your spine and really feel into your roots, and these are your sit bones. So separate the big muscles of your backside, and then bony points are your sit bones. So sit nice and tall on them, and that will create some more space in the spine. Whenever you're ready, you're going to just take a deep breath in and you're going to close your eyes down. Allow your shoulders to completely relax. You're going to allow tension just to melt away from the face, the shoulders. Breathing in, and if there's any tension in the body, as you breathe out, allow it to exit. You're going to let go of the day and become really present with yourself on the mat. Place your hands into prayer position and draw your chin in towards your chest, bowing down to your internal energy. Set an intention for this yoga practice. Your intention can be for yourself, a situation, or a person in your life. Breathe into your heart center. And as you exhale, release your intention to the universe. Flutter open your eyes in your own time and gently allow the palms of the hands to find the fronts of the kneecaps. Draw the chest up towards the ceiling, coming into a slight back bend, so nothing too strenuous to begin. And then exhale, come back into one straight line, lifting the heart right up towards the ceiling again. Feel that lovely thoracic spine start to bend backwards. Back into neutral. Lifting the heart. Eye gaze can be softly up or forward, whatever's best for your neck. Coming back to neutral. One more. Big breath in. And as you exhale, slowly release back to neutral. You're going to take the right hand over towards the knee, elongate your spine and take a soft spinal twist. Just starting to awaken the energy within the body. Relaxing your jaw. Your other hand acts as a splint of support to elongate your spine, and it's lightly pressing down into the ground to keep that nice long spine. Allow the body to unravel and then just change sides. Big breath in, hand circles back at the base of the spine, lift up and allow the eye gaze to follow around as you twist inward. Coming back to center. Take the right palm of the hand and draw it down towards the earth. As you drop the earlobe towards the shoulder, you're going to feel a beautiful neck release. We carry lots of stress and tension in our shoulders. As you move through this evening's practice, I ask you to connect to your breath. Your breath is what carries a yoga practice. And release. Take a moment to reflect on each side and feel into your body. Palm of the hand pressing down, earlobe to shoulder, space, release. And come back to center. You're going to take the elbows just up below the shoulders. And you're going to do some cat-cows with the thoracic spine. Again, it's quite rounded. And when we have an awful lot of computer work on phones, our posture can become quite rounded. So we want to elongate and open into the heart center. So elbows slightly dropped. Breathe in and lift again. And as you exhale, round your spine and bring your chin towards your chest. Press the elbows to touch. Lifting up, connecting the movement with your breath. And go at a pace that suits you. If you want to move slightly faster, remember that this is your practice. There might be a little sticky point that you might want to pause and breathe into. My upper back holds a lot of tension. This is the one great thing about yoga. You really get familiar with your body. You know its strengths, its weaknesses. One more. As you close, bring the hands down in towards the heart center in prayer. Bow down again. This brings a beautiful release to the back of the neck. Connection with the breath. And then bring yourself gently up to all fours. So take your time. Place your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips. Ensure that your energy is rooted into all four corners and that you're not jumping over the wrists. So make sure the lines are nice and straight and strong. As you breathe in, round your spine, chin towards chest. Coming into cat pose, and as you drop downward and take the eyes skyward, you're coming into cow pose. Once again, you want to take your time, maybe pause at the top, sway forward and backwards gently. And then release down. And maybe go forward and backwards or side to side. You choose what's best for you. Coming back to center. Round into cat. Dropping down. Going back to a nice flat back. You're going to take your foot, curl the toes under and send the heel back. You're opening up into the lower part of the leg, into the calf muscles. They can be quite bound. There's a micro bend in your elbows, so you're never hyperextending. This allows energy to flow more freely around the body. Holding. And feeling that lovely stretch. Change sides. Toes under and heel firmly pressing back, crown of the head, pushing forward. It's like a beam, one straight line of energy. When you're ready, bring the knees back underneath the hips, but walk the hands slightly forward and dial the wrists slightly out. Curl the toes under and take your force downward facing dog at the practice. Bend into the knees, right, left, and start to pedal the heel down towards the mat. And as you do this, press your heart back towards your thighs. Breathe nice and deep. And then take a moment and pause. Change sides. Take a moment and pause. Breathe out. Look forward. Bend your knees and walk all the way towards the top edge of the mat and let your body hang down. Crown of the head is heavy here. There's a bend in the knees if it's needed, if you're quite tight in your hamstrings. If you have a little bit more length, maybe start to straighten out the legs. Grasp the opposite elbow and sway from side to side. Nod yes and nod no. Then let the arms go and inhale, halfway lift. Your hand position is a yogi's choice. You might feel that here is better for you or here. Push the crown of the head forward and have a strong flat back. So if you're quite rounded here, I recommend that you push your heart down towards the mat and you pull the shoulder blades back as if you're trying to squeeze a lemon in the upper back. Exhale and close down. Breathe out and hold. Feel the back body start to stretch from the heels right up to the crown of the head. Once again, inhale, rise up halfway. Pause and hold. Squeeze your upper back muscles, really awakening every part of the body. Close down and step your leg right back. So right leg way back. Look forward, eye gaze forward. Drop the knee and take a breath as you rise up. And as you exhale, bring the hands to your hips. Breathing in, on the next exhale, allow the hips to fall forward. Ensuring that you're not just sinking into the joints, that the front heel is drawn back and the back knee is drawn forward. Feel the engagement in the pelvic muscles, the hip flexor and the hamstrings. Soft eye gaze forward. Your drishti is your focal point. Inhale and lift. Exhale, allow your hands to gently find the mat as you pull back through the hips, lengthen the front leg. Bring the hands back, you're coming into Urdhva Hanumanasa. This is half split, breathing into the hamstrings there, watching for the upper back being rounded. Press the heart down, pull the shoulders back. You're going to walk your hands forward Allow your hands to find the mat as you spinal twist in towards the knee. Top hand floats up towards the sky. And finds the mat, you lift the back knee to create lots of space. As you exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in, and as you exhale, root down into your heels. Look forward, deep knee bend, right foot forward this time. And if it doesn't land and it's way back here, hand around the ankle joint and coax it up. Push into the back heel to create the space that you're going to move into. Ground down with the knee, and if you need to put some padding or extra support, please do. Inhale, lift up. Then as you exhale, hands to hips. Settle in, and when you breathe out, move into the space that you're creating with that exhale. You're going to keep this part of the hip drawn back, front knee drawing forward, and spine lifted. So we're never hanging in our joints. This is really unsafe, and it creates instability in our joints. We want strength. You're going to take the hands forward, and then you're going to walk them back as you bring some length into that front leg. Long spine, breathing in, breathing out. Walk your hands forward again. Firmly pressing down into the mat as you twist in towards the knee, spinal twist. Draw your navel in and draw the knee in towards the midline. Top hand finds the mat as you step back to downward facing dog. Lift the knee to create that space for you to move back. Let's pedal at the heels again, creating more length in the back body and creating a deeper sense of grounded energy. So when we really root down into our hands and our feet in our yoga practice, it gives us a great sense of inner peace, groundedness, and it's like the foundations of each pose will be nice and strong. Look forward, take a deep knee bend, left foot steps forward. And as it does, you make sure that you keep the back leg long, and the option here is to bend the knee and drop it down. But if you can, keep this nice and long as you lengthen all the way up into a high lunge. Pelvic tilt under, please, so it's not really lengthened and weak. So strength, arms up. Option is hands on your hips. On the next exhale, moving deeper into that knee bend if it's accessible to you. Take your hands to the inside of that foot and allow yourself to pivot on your feet to the long edge of the mat. Place the left hand into the center as you open all the way up into a spinal twist again. Changing sides. Top hand reaching nice and high. Breathing in and out towards the chest. Allow your arms to cross as you grasp the opposite elbow, crown of the head heavy, heels earthing, grounding, backside lifted, crown of the head downward. Length and space being created in the whole body from heel right up to the sit bones. Hands find the mat, bend your knees if you need to. Breathe in and lengthen your spine, flat back position. Walking all the way around to the other side. Curl the toes under, create some space and length. As you rise up, your pelvic tilt under and you bend into that front knee. Strength and stability. Please do remember your option is to drop the back knee down, and you can also be slightly higher. So there's lots and lots of options. Soften your shoulders. And create a deep sense of being present, mind, body, and soul. Your hands come to the inside of that front foot and you pivot on your feet all the way around, back to wide-legged forward fold. Adjust your feet where it's needed. You're going to bring the heels in, toes out, hands gently on the hips as you breathe in, lift all the way up and then sit back as if you're straddling a big horse. So this is goddess pose set up. Breathe in, arms reach up. And as you exhale, bring them forward. So it's like you're pressing the energy forward. Inhale, draw in. Your breath is going to help you. So exhale, press out. Inhale, draw in. And then exhale, press out. Lengthen 2 legs, straight and strong. We're setting up for warrior 2. So back heel dials outward, toes go forward. Deep knee bend in the front leg and strong back leg. Arms reach up and down, Virabhadrasana 2. Pull the arms back and make sure that the back arm doesn't get weak. So shoulder to shoulder, 2 straight lines. Now straighten your front leg for me. And Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reach, reach, reach till you can't reach anymore. And then gently descend downward. And if this is too intense, bend into the knee, maybe use the leg as a support, but you're really trying to twist and keeping the legs as strong as you can. Eye gaze can be up, it can be out, or it can be down. Taking a breath in as you bend into that knee, coming back to warrior 2. Reverse your warrior, front palm turns up and slowly lift up, 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 up and lean back. Be very mindful that you haven't lifted directly up out of the pose. You want to go where the work is, and it's always where the challenge is. So bend into that front knee and allow the back hand to stretch down the leg. It's like a big body on. Hands back to warrior 2. 2 legs straight and strong, toes forward to the long edge. Hands on your hips. Slowly descend down. Your options to put your hands down. If you're fairly new, I recommend that. Stop halfway. Inhale, draw all the way back up. Crown of the head lifted. Pelvis is nice and square. Gentle movement, hinging like motion. One more. Just remember, every action that we do creates a result. Change sides into warrior 2. Mindful setup, a deep knee bend. Heels slightly pushing outward, 45-degree angle. Breathe in, breathe out. Reach. Your drishti once again is down that front middle finger. Be mindful of what you think about as you hold your yoga poses. 2 legs straight and strong. Breathe out till you can't reach any further and cartwheel your arms down. Again, the option. There's always an option. Protecting the neck if the eye gaze up is too much for you. You can always look down or forward. Once again, you're twisting from the ribs. A deep knee bend as you come back to warrior 2. Take a breath, feel into your body, turn the palm of the hand up and reach all the way up, soften into that top elbow, keep the energy strong from the heel to the hip and lean in as you lift up and back. Back to warrior 2. 2 legs straight and strong. Toes forward and then heels in. Hands find the tops of the knees. You're taking your eye gaze and your shoulder head in towards the center. So taking the right shoulder head in as you take the eye gaze up towards the corner of your room. And then come back to the center. Shoulder head drops in. This is a beautiful spinal twist and creates lovely space in the hips. Now continue your journey all the way around to the short edge of the mat. Coming onto the balls of the feet. Step back please to downward facing dog. Glide forward to all fours. Take the knees nice and wide and allow the big toes to gently touch as you sit back in towards child's pose. So bringing your sit bones right back towards your heels. And this is your resting pose also. If you ever become a little bit tired during your practice, this is a beautiful pose to come into. It's an active recovery. So you can make this pose challenging, or you can completely disengage and soften, or you can press the palms of the hands firmly into the mat and push your heart downwards and press the knees down into the mat. You're going to feel the hips open more and the chest and the shoulders open. So choose whatever variation your body needs. Slowly walk the hands in underneath the shoulders as you bring them forward, and then toes under for stability as you guide the knees in towards the midline. Take a gentle rock from side to side, allowing the pelvis to soften, allow the belly to hang for a couple of breaths, and a micro bend in the knees and in the elbows. And then as you find your center again, so hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, you're gently going to guide the hands to the outer edges of the mat, right and left, coming into melting heart, also known as Anahata. So this is a beautiful back bend, and you want to make sure that your weight isn't all being pushed back. So it's being equally distributed forward and back, midline energy. So strong arms. But at any point you need to back out of this pose, very gently just press into the hands and guide them back in towards your knees. Gently lift the elbows and hands pressing into the mat to guide you back to that all forward motion. Pull your belly muscles in and sway like a snake, right to left, right to left. This should feel yummy on the shoulders and on the hips and the side body. Draw the body weight forward and backwards, creating like a circle-like motion over the wrists, drawing back and forward. Now change the direction, please. Bring the body weight forward, creating that circle, and then pull back. This is a beautiful exercise to strengthen your wrists and get used to bearing weight. When you first practice yoga, you might feel that your wrists get quite weak or sore, and it's just because you're building up the strength, so please don't let it turn you off. Coming back to the center, dial the hands outward, so away from the midline, and sway from side to side. So the palms of the hands aren't forward, they're dialing to the outer edges of the mat. Pull your tummy muscles in, please, to support your lower back. Don't be slouching, so full body awareness, mindful and integrity in the body, in the motions that we do. Hands go forward, we push off the mat, we find our knees, we draw the navel in, we rise up, we step our left leg forward, we push the hips under, and as we exhale, we bring the hands to the inside. Your option is to remain here, or you can gently descend downward, you choose. I always recommend heel toe the foot slightly wider. It creates more space for you to descend into. Head nice and heavy. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Hands underneath the shoulders. And once again, you're going to pull back. Walk the hands all the way back. So you're on a slight angle here. Allowing yourself to gently rock forward and backwards, creating a gentle bouncing movement. That hand sweeps to the outer leg as you guide yourself forward. You lift the back knee once again, always to create space for your body to move back. Step into downward facing dog. You're going to look forward, the right foot is going to land to the outside of the right hand. The knee descends downward. Taking a deep breath in, and as you exhale, glide yourself down towards the earth, head heavy, body down, breathe. Root your big toe of the front foot down into the mat, especially because we have our knee externally rotated. The foot is going to want to work out onto the edge, but let's really anchor in and be grounded in this practice. As you inhale to lift up, very gently walk your hands back so you're on a side angle, and once again come into that lovely bouncing motion. You're going to feel it in the inner groin area, hamstrings. Some people may feel it up into the glutes. And as you bring your hand to the outer leg, you're going to bend the knee and you're going to inhale, lift. Just create a bit of space. Exhale to ground. Lift the knee and step back into downward facing dog. Glide forward, please, into a high plank. And here is your option. Once the hips aren't completely sagging and putting pressure on the lower back, this is a very active and very challenging for some. So we want to build up to this strong line, but we don't want to compromise. So think about the foundations. Let's build up our strength. Lift your hips once again up towards the sky. Root down into the heels. Take a big deep breath in and exhale. Take the left foot and guide it up towards the sky. Bring the heel towards the right bum cheeks and lift up through the knee as you gently start to rotate through the hips into three-legged downward facing dog. Take your time. Watching for this elbow want to bend to compromise the movement. You want to keep them nice and strong and as straight as you can. Lifting it up through the knee. Square off the hips, lengthen the leg and slowly allow it to descend. Take your breath in and as you exhale, root into downward facing dog. If at any point you need an active recovery, you come to all fours, still holding the abdominals in so that we have awareness and engagement throughout the whole body. So you choose whatever variation you want, downward facing dog or all fours. Right leg lifts towards the heavens. We bring the heel on towards the bum cheek and we lift the kneecap. Eye gaze can be up or it can be slightly forward. I personally prefer upward. Reminds me where I have to go with my leg. Square off, lengthen and very gently descend. Walk your hands back towards your ankle joints. Take your time. You're going to grip at the ankles. And you're going to gently bend the knees if you need to. So remember, listen to your body. You're going to just push the crown of the head forward and hold here. Now, deep knee bend. All the way down if possible. So your legs aren't wide, they're forward. And then you're going to lift the tailbone right up towards the heavens. And you're going to let the arms drape down towards the mat, crown the head really heavy. Now pull the shoulder heads back and down. Focusing in here on mobility and strength. A deep knee bend. Again, allowing the arms just to drape naturally. Bit of weight now in the tailbone. Lifting up. Now you might get here and you may need to support yourself until you build up your confidence and maybe your mobility and your strength. But we all have to start somewhere is my motto. As we lift, crown of the head down, shoulder heads back, and then fist walk or palm walk all the way towards plank. Squeeze your bum, drop your knees, then your chest and your chin, and then scoop up into a baby cobra. Push your pubic bone down into the mat, big toe rooted, pull the shoulder heads right back and down your spine. Coming up again to box position, curl the toes under and coming into a child's pose. Find downward facing dog. Deep knee bend. Crisscross, please walk. Working the right and left hemispheres of the brain. and give it a lovely stretch to the outer muscles, and then turn towards me, holding in a forward fold. Slowly, slowly curl up one vertebrae at a time. Go slower than you think you should. At the top, roll your shoulders back and down, lift through the crown of your head. Make sure that your body weight is evenly distributed on your feet, so stretch open your toes and then anchor them downwards. You're going to bear some weight into your right leg, and you're going to gently come into tree pose, Vrikkonasana. Now your option is toe down and hands here, or else you can use the calf, or if you haven't got slippy leggings on, you can bring your foot to the inner thigh. Focus on opening the hip, so dropping the knee down, bringing the hands into prayer, or if you want to challenge the body and the balance, bring your arms up overhead. A steady eye gaze, a calm mind, and you will find some stillness. Gently bring the hands to the hips. Lift your foot away from the thigh and ground down. If you've got lower back problems, I recommend a wider base. This creates more space. If you've no back problems and you want an extra challenge, narrow in the base. So, Tadasana, mountain pose, everything starts from this posture. Rooting in again, spread open your toes, root down. And feel the energy of that action ripple from your feet all the way up to the crown of your head. Find your focus, rooting down, and you can take your variation. Whatever one you did on one side, I highly recommend you do the same on the other. Bring the hands to the hips, remembering that the option is to always reach up, maybe sway through the arms for a couple of breaths, even wave. You're just challenging your center of gravity. Hands on hips, lift and root down into Tadasana. Okay, heel toe the feet nice and wide, creating some space for you to sit back into a deep Hindu squat. So bring the backside all the way down towards the earth, pressing the elbows to the inner knees, and the heart radiates forward and open. If this option is way too deep for you, if you're just beginning yoga, stay here and maybe sway through the hips a couple of times, loosening, come back up, and then eventually you will get deeper and deeper. So the whole principles of yoga, principles is discipline and patience. Patience and all is coming. I want you to expand your arms and visualize beautiful healing energy coming from your heart center out into the universe. Root more into your feet and focus on the intention rather than the physical. Bring the hands forward, finding the earth. Sit back on the shins into hero pose and close down the eyes. Bring the hands to your heart. You're doing an amazing job. Shoulder open the eyes. Take the right hand and reach up, 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 up and over. You're going to walk out on your fingertips. You're going to spiral the heart up towards the ceiling and feel a beautiful side bend. Trying to be aware of any stress and tension. Can you breathe it out and think about space and release? Push off the earth and exchange sides. Once you find, the mat, this signals to the body it's safe. So walk a little bit more and challenge the body. breathe in and breathe out and move into that space that the breath creates. The inhalation will bring expansion. Bearing your weight downward, so make sure that you're not lifting up. And then allow the top hand to find as you come back to all fours. So take your time finding all fours again. Take a deep breath in, lift up to downward facing dog. Bend the knees and just walk yourself to the middle of the mat. And as you curl up, once again, you want to go really, really slow. Finding mountain pose. Taking a deep breath in softly. Might just step a little bit more forward so that we got a bit of space behind us. Make sure you're not going to kick anything. Take a deep breath in. And I want you just to push the leg back, anchor onto your toe. And then gently, you're going to lean forward and tap back. Just leaning forward, getting the body. This sends signals to the body of where it's going to go, and it's trying to seek out balance and stability. Come back in and just change sides. This is like a preparation for Virabhadrasana 3. So step back, tilt and tap, tilt and tap. Just a few little warm-up preparations, letting the body know what's coming. Getting all them triggered muscles fired up, waking up. Find your feet. Sway right to left, move into the hips, roll forward, roll back. And feel this beautiful space that you're creating in your body with every movement that you do. Make sure now that your weight is evenly distributed. You're going to make sure that you're rooted onto all four corners of the foot. Take a deep breath in, engage the back muscles. Be light on this foot, and as you gently lift the back leg up, you're going to pour your heart forward. You can point your toes, upper shoulders are squeezing together, arms stretching back by the waist side. Eye gaze is fixed on something that's not moving. Good. Your hand finds the ground. You open the hips and toes go forward, coming into Ardha Hanumanasa. Deep breath in. Ardha Chandrasana. Sorry, half moon. Half moon. Your hand finds the mat, you square off again, hold here, and then gently descend. Curl up a little bit quicker than what you have been, not too fast now. And anchor into mountain pose. You're nearly there. Fixed eye gaze, tap the foot back, elongate your spine. If the upper shoulders and the whole upper body isn't engaged, you're going to go down and you're going to lose your center, okay? So strong alignment and focus. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you gently and calmly lift into Virabhadrasana 3. And if you fall out, lads, you go back in. This is how the body learns. You keep repeating the action, and strength and stability will be gained. When you're ready, you gently land down, hands on hips in that beautiful rocking motion. This allows space to come into the hip flexors, the sacrum to broaden. And this actual motion is amazing for the sacral chakra, which is an energetical point at the center of our hips. One more on each side. And then I want you to curtsy step. So bend the knees and little curtsy step back and sit down. So I know this was a challenging practice so far, but well able. Take the legs long in front of the body. Coming into stick pose, also known as Dandasana or staff. Once again, spine straight, strong, abdomen drawn in, and hands either down or intuitively placed on your body. Close down your eyes and go inward. Feel the strength from your heels to your hips and that line of energy coming right up through the back body, through the crown of the head. You're keeping your focus and your energy turned inward. So you're going to be aware that the feet most likely are going to be the first point to start disengaging, and then the calves, and then the quads, and then the hips. The abdominals will start to soften. So it takes a lot of effort to hold this pose and hold the integrity of it. So really focus. Bend the right knee, please. Guide the foot up and across the body. Come into a beautiful spinal twist again. Your option, you know, is with the hand, or if you want a little bit more, you can bring the heel in towards the backside and anchor down. Beautiful. You're going to place the hands down, and just for fun, you're going to do a full pivot 360, and you're going to be on the other side. So just a little bit of fun. So yoga is about mind-body connection. So when we do things that are out of the norm, it's really good for the mind and it's excellent for the body. Good. Allow the body to naturally unravel. Allow yourself to lay back and down, creating space for that to happen. You're going to guide the leg right up and push the heel up towards the ceiling. Guide the foot below the knee. Like a needle and thread, I want you to scoop through. And your option here is the back of the thigh, or it's on the shin bone. Resting down, pressing the knee out away from the body, and then drawn in at the same time. So two simultaneously actions happen, in and out. Release and take the heels up towards the sky. You're going to drop down and hover. Not too low. And if the muscles are shaking in your abdominals and it's too much of a pull on the lower back, you lift the leg slightly higher. Coming up, change. Breathe out. Come up and change. Come all the way up and change. You're going to hold up at the top, bend the knees. This back leg goes up and over, needle and thread, scoot through. You know your options, head down, body down, knee out, and drawing in with the shin bone. Release, heels up, back leg descends first. Draw the tummy muscles in and down. Soften the shoulders, come all the way up, scissors, change. If this is too much, bend the knees and shorten the range of movement. Explore what feels better. Some people prefer to point their toes, but if you're in the habit of always pointing your toes, flex. Don't always do one way. There's many ways, yeah? Few more. One more. Bend your knees in towards your chest and rock yourself back up. Bend your knees in and rock yourself back up. Good. You're going to sit on the sit bones. You're slightly curved under, so you're not directly right up high. So slightly curved, like a C curve, shaping the lower part of your back. Arms reach. You're going to lower down. You're going to come back up, keeping the feet down. Hold. You're going to lift one knee and then the other. Good. C curve all the way down. Coming all the way up. Chin in towards chest, abdominals drawn in. Hold. One knee in and then the other. So this is half bow pose, Nirvasana. Drop, drop. C curve all the way down. Strength and stamina. Mind over matter. Lift. Knee in, knee in. Next option, shoot them, bend them, drop them. Ease. That's an option. You do not have to do that. Hold. Knee, knee, shoot, bend, drop. One more, okay? One more. Coming all the way up. Knee, knee. Lengthen to strengthen. Come back in, drop, roll down, and let the knees drop open and the soles of the feet find each other. Gentle massage into the hip flexors and into the abdominals, using the padding of your hands, the muscles just at the bottom of the palm of the hand. Okay, your final pose. Bring the knees in. You're going to lift your hips up and bring them over towards the left side as the knees drop down towards me. Spinal twist, eye gaze up, or you can look in the opposite direction. If you want to intensify the stretch, you can hook the legs around each other and wrap them, bind them like ropes. You might hear a couple of cracks in the back, and that's completely normal. Unravel. Knee to knee. If you need to guide them back up, lift the bum, come back to center. Hold. Lifting up, slide the hips over, knees descend. You know what your option is, so please choose. Very gentle smile on your face. You're doing an amazing job. The hardest part, believe me, is getting yourself to the mat. If you get that far, you're doing really well. Okay, unhook. Allow your feet to find the earth. Bring the hips back to center and just give yourself a soft rock to release any stagnation that might be sticking into the lower back. No pain, no gain. I don't really believe in that. But we do want to challenge our bodies. Take a big body stretch. Toes long, hands overhead, big body on. Exhale. And then starfish pose, also known as Shavasana. I do recommend that you pop on something nice and warm when you're doing your Shavasana pose. A cardigan or a blanket. Lay back, close down your eyes and breathe nice and deep. Let go of the practice. You've done all the hard work, and this is the body and the mind's reward for all of the effort, and this is where all the magic happens. It's in Shavasana, so please do not skip this pose. In my opinion, it's the most important pose in yoga. Working again with the breath, breathing in and out to the heart center. Exhale, releasing the body down towards the earth, knowing that your mat fully supports you. Softening the crown of the head, feeling the eyes fall back into the skull, relaxing the jaw and unclenching your teeth. Your shoulders melt down. From your shoulder to your elbow, and your elbow to your fingertips. There is no tension. You become aware of the natural curves in your spine, the natural bends. Allow your tummy muscles to completely soften. Allow the hips to melt down into the mat. And from your hips to your knees. There's no tension, and there is a soft bend in your knees. From your knees to your heel, and from your heel to your toes, there is no tension. Your whole body is soft, melting deeper and deeper down into your mat. Allow your whole body to be encased in a white, glowing light. Envision this in your mind's eye. This light transmutes any pain, negativity, disease, discomfort. Make your next inhale nice and deep into your heart. Feel your ribs and your belly lift and expand, and as you breathe out, bring awareness back into your body. Fingertips and toes gently curl up, being aware of how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You gently take a body stretch in whatever way is appropriate to you. You gather your knees in, you rest on your side, and you guide yourself up into a comfortable seat. You're going to bring your hands into prayer at the center of your chest. You're going to recall that intention that you set at the beginning of this practice, giving your practice purpose. And just see, does it feel any way different? And if it doesn't, it doesn't. There's no judgment. Once again, exhale, release that intention to the universe. And trust with all of your heart that whatever happens, it's for your highest good. From me to you, Namaste. It's with deep gratitude that I share yoga, and I would really appreciate if you would like and share and subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Goddess Box Co. And send this on to your friends and families and anybody who you think will benefit from just a space for themselves to release any tension in their body. And anybody who is stressed, I promise you this will help. Thanks again for joining me on this practice. All my love to you all. Namaste.